Come together to put on Homeless Awareness Day, and we have a packed agenda. So we're going to talk about different types of homelessness, because obviously as you were taking the first Kahoot quiz, you realize there are in fact different levels to this.
We have about 11,000 students experiencing some form of homelessness. And then we have an organization that was already mentioned, that they've been doing this for 30 years. Their focus is to help families that are homeless, and that is the Homeless Trust.
The same number of homeless we have living on our streets today. In fact, the last census said we have 1,033, a lot of you guys got that question right on the Kahoot quiz, that were unsheltered. Unsheltered means actually on the street. Obviously, Omar, you're here to share. You experienced a season of street homelessness.
Homelessness doesn't care whether you're black or whether you're white or young or old or middle class or high class, rich. It affects everyone. It didn't affect me in a way that you all would think. I'd never been to jail. I'd never been arrested. I went through college. I got my BA in elementary education. I was an elementary school teacher for children with disabilities for about 3 years of my life. I had a very middle-class family, very Christian-based. I went to church every day, almost Monday through Sunday, and my life was normal. But my choices led me down the path of homelessness and addiction. For about 2 years of my life, I was an addict. I suffered with a disease, addicted to meth. I was shooting it, smoking it, and at a certain point, it just disintegrated my life into absolutely nothing. Everything that I had gained, my BA, my house, my car, gone. All of my relationships with my family were absolutely gone. My family at a certain point said that they would not deal with me until I got clean. And I had been through maybe 5 different programs. Miami Rescue Mission was where I found my home. It's where I found my spiritual base as well. I'm currently working there right now as an intake coordinator. But for me, it was life-changing. And my choices, your choices are so important. Your choices, the choices that you make in life can ultimately, change the trajectory of your life in an instant. You may think that just drinking is okay. You may think that just this blunt, this weed, this smoke, this hit might be okay. But it is what they say, it's a gateway drug, right? You start at one level and you graduate level after level after level. You don't see how detrimental it is to your life until you're like me, sleeping on park benches, being beaten and shoved around, and I was raped at a certain point, and it really messes with your mind. It really does. It makes you feel less than human. And I want to say thank you to the Miami Rescue Mission for giving me a new life, a new start, a new beginning. And I would not be where I am today if it was not for the Miami Rescue Mission. My family was always my base, and they were always my driving force, my wind beneath my wings, and they wouldn't let me rest in stupidity. So that's the reason I went to the mission. It was because of them.
But they told you that they would not be in your life.
Right. I would not. My family gave me a strong, stiff arm, for a small amount of time until I got my life together, and it was well deserved. It was what I needed. I needed that break in order to get my mental right, in order to get my thought process right, in order to connect with the spiritual, and also get grounded in something that was serious. But
how long were you chronically on the streets?
2 to 3 years. They kept in contact.
They tried to soft
Right. They wouldn't give me any money, which was also a good thing because I don't know where I would be if they had. I'm grateful to them for being the type of family that they have been for me. The strong will, you know, they didn't give up, they didn't cave in to my stupidity. They actually made me a lot stronger.
Well, I love that you point that out. And again, Omar Herrera, everybody, and he does now work.
Was there ever like a moment where you just felt like you just wanted to give up and didn't want to keep on going? And what was like the reason why you kept going?
There were many occasions where I wanted to give up. I don't know if anybody know what starvation feels like. Not necessarily hunger, but starvation. You know, after a few days, you're weak, you're tired, you can't think. And in those moments, you feel a lot of guilt, a lot of grief, a lot of remorse. And it can be a flick of the finger. And you may want to take your life. I know I experienced a lot of suicidal ideation, a lot of suicidal thoughts, and if I had acted on those thoughts, I wouldn't be here speaking with you today. But what kept me going was obviously my family, but also my expectation. I wanted better for my life. I wanted better for my future. I wanted better for my career. You know, I wanted to get up again. I didn't want to stay down.
You said that at a certain point in time you got raped. I was just wondering, how did that mess you up mentally? How did you get over that bump?
Bro, so as a man, you know, it doesn't feel good having to talk to people about being abused. You know, it sucks. Because I was doing what I was doing, I was giving everybody an option to my temple. You know, and it wasn't something that I liked. It didn't feel good, but it was a life learning lesson that, you know, you will do anything to get the next hit. You will literally sacrifice your body and your soul for just that next hit. And I don't want any one of you, young men, to think that it won't happen to you, because it can. You know, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. You ever heard that before? Yeah. So I want you all to be aware, right, of what can happen to you physically, not only mentally, but physically when you go down this road, when you make the wrong choice.
When did you get the wake-up call that you knew it was time to get help?
I got the wake-up call when there was a very cold night in February. It was really freezing. And I had lost all of my clothes. I had on a pair of shorts and a tank top and some flip-flops. And I passed by this park. I laid down on the bench, which was freezing, steel benches. And I'm looking up at the sky and I'm like, God, like, what am I doing here? I gotta get help. I gotta get help. I'm starving. I'm eating donuts out of a garbage can. Donuts. 3 boxes of donuts. I'm just shoving them in my mouth, trying to get fed. I never want to feel that type of hunger again. I never want to feel that type of fear, that type of loneliness again. So it was an immediate choice for me at that moment.
If you had the opportunity to come face to face with your past self, what would you wish to tell them?
I would tell that little boy, just stay strong, you know? And in the moment of weakness, you might feel like giving up, and you may even feel insecure. You may feel weird or strange or not like the rest, but when you grow up, your test will surely be a testimony. Your mess will turn into a message, and you can help a lot of people. You have the ability to help a lot of people, so don't give up. You know, don't fall short. Don't let the world tell you that you're not enough, because you are enough. You are amazing. You are smart. You is kind. You is important.
How do you deal with the judgment of others?
So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because I'm very sensitive. So a lot of people's judgments were very like hurtful. You know, I didn't trust a lot of people. But what I do now is I ignore you. And sometimes, you know, it's okay to be upset, but it's never okay to react in anger. You know, be slow to anger. Be quick to listen. You know, be quick to take it in, but just ignore it.
All right, so again, we always run out of time at the end. Thank you guys so much for your incredible questions and contributions today. I know our South Dade schools got a ways to go, so we would like to get South Dade and South Ridge out of here if we can.